I haven't spoken a single word in almost 2 years. To some, that may sound excessive, eccentric, or maybe eerie. And I suppose it is. But then again, they haven't seen what I have or experienced what I've gone through. Which explains why this situation is uncomfortable, enough to make my scalp tingle and my skin prickle with warning. I'm not claustrophobic, but the masculine atmosphere in this vehicle is almost suffocating. And the majority of this imposing energy comes from Tristano Silvestri. I've never been the type of girl who enjoys male attention, even less so after watching the effects from my sister's assault and how it broke her spirit. It broke mine as well. When I lean in my seat the tiniest bit, Tristano's gaze shoots in my direction, and it unsettles me for reasons that are beyond trauma. I'm used to being ignored and overlooked, which is my preference. But this man has yet to do either one. Now I'll have to be cognizant of maintaining my silence, an easier task now that Karina is gone, and be decisive in my movement. Or else Tristano will have his gaze on me more often than not. And it's unwelcome. The gray of his eyes is like the steel of a pistol, cold and hard. If not for the show of compassion toward my sister earlier, I'd think this man is incapable of it. He doesn't strike me as someone who has evil flowing through his veins like my father. But Tristano hasn't walked this earth without coming into contact with it. And, at times, dwelling in it. It's an intuitive assumption on my part, but I'm not wrong. Members of the crime syndicate are not only affected by the events pertaining to their lifestyle, but also the overall sickness of greed, a vice that's usually a catalyst for the 6 other deadly sins. And that type of motivation ultimately leads to destruction. To the sinners themselves, but I believe it's mostly to everyone else. I flick my gaze to the window and squint in order to make out the private airstrip. The hangar eventually comes into view, and I'm able to make out the small aircraft with the stairs lowered. 2 men dressed in cargo pants and black t-shirts stand at the base of the stairs with their arms folded. Their skin is a golden brown, and taking in their features, I guess them to be of Hispanic descent. I can confirm my suspicion if I hear them speak. Learning Spanish was easy for me, when compared to Latin, and the language is easily identifiable. It's ironic, I speak 4 languages, yet don't capitalize on any of them. When I'm far from this city and its memories, I hope to feel safe enough to voice my thoughts and feelings with a trusted individual. Karina is that person for me. Or at least she was, and will be again, if she survives the night. Tumultuous emotions churn in my stomach, and I mentally shove aside all thought of my sister. Losing her once was bad enough, but having to experience that grief again, and so soon after being reunited with her, I just can't.
Benito, stay in the car with her,
Tristano says, looking at me. After that, he and Enrico exit the vehicle. The pair walk almost shoulder to shoulder, stopping once they are a handful of yards away from the other men. The sounds of metal sliding over metal and bullets entering the gun's chambers has goosebumps rising on my arms. I've heard that noise so many times in my life that it shouldn't bother me, but it does. Maybe because I associate it with death. However, it's for my protection and theirs. That's what I have to remind myself. As though I'm watching a movie, I rove my gaze over the 4 men, taking in their stances and the position of their hands. They are the most telling. It's difficult for people who feel as if they're in danger to emit a calm demeanor that extends to their fingers. The men I've studied all my life can't seem to keep their index fingers from tapping or extending slightly when they perceive a potential threat.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.